I think that's gonna work. Move this back a little bit. Good seeing everyone. Shalom, shalom. Good seeing everyone. Give everybody a chance to kind of come in. Thank you for being here, my moderators and everything. Thank you for coming in. Shalom, family. I'm going to play a little bit of Psalms 83 while we're waiting for more people to come in. Good seeing everyone. Shalom, shalom. Here we go. Good seeing everyone. Shalom. Psalms 23 by Yada Yah 7 that we put in the chat. Thank you so much. I want to play a little bit of Psalms 121, sung in Hebrew, also by Yadi Got 7, okay?
Before we were using Monday.com, our team was drowning in work. Our days used to split between work and managing work.
Suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold. By night, Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Amen. What a righteous Ayanyamya, Al, Haharyam, Laaya, Yabawa'a, Izaria, Yabawa'a, Mayahawa, Sha'asha, Shemayim, Warataza, La'a, Yanathan, Lamawat, Regalia, Yala'a, Nawam, Shashamoria, Hana, Yala'a, Nawam, Wala'a, Yashun, Shashawamor, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamaria, Yahweh, Tizalia, Al, Yamyamya, Hashamash, Yala'a, Hakaya, Ayawam, Wala'a, Halabana, Lamayala, Yahweh, Yashamaria, Makau, Rai, Yashamar, Nempasha, Yahweh, Yashamar, Halalanya, Wabawa'aya, Ma'aitha, Wa'ai, Alalam, Aman.
It's an absolutely beautiful family opportunity for us to come and just praise the Most High, you know, really just kind of just concentrate on Him, think about what He's been doing for us, think about what He's doing, you know, here on the planet, here in the spirit world. And it's just absolutely amazing to see all the confirmation that we've been getting. And, you know, I heard yesterday of talking a little bit about the news about how Russia's pretty much called on China to support them. And how the United States, I guess, met with China today and pretty much was already threatening them to not get into this, or else we're gonna go at you too. Which just kind of just shows you how, you know, there's no way out of this. There's no viable way out of this mess. And people are even now, you know, talking about how hypocritical the United States looks. Because, like, hold on, all you other European nations can all come together and give all this support to the Ukraine. But you, China, can't come and support Russia. You see, that's like a lot of people are seeing the hypocrisy that has been going on this whole time. And the thing is now is that because we're at the end, this hypocrisy is just like, it's like right there in your face. The Most High is putting it right there in your face. Great seeing you, Brother D'Angelo. Great seeing everyone here. All praises to the Most High. Thank you guys all for coming. All get an opportunity to come together. Yes, the BRICS nations, you know, all these, you know, I want to say almost half the world's population is probably, I think, part of that BRICS, and then they're all, you know, together with Russia and China. So, I mean, you know, you got a split of what's going on. And if you look at the media here, you would think that Russia's pretty much all by itself, you know, but that's not the case. You know, we know that's not the case. You know, I said the Most High is just setting up the whole world. And the vast majority of the people now are starting to see that things are not working out the way they were told. You know, I guess, you know, Biden went to Saudi Arabia, and they weren't even taking his phone calls. They're like, who's on the phone? Tell him I'm not here. Tell him I'm not here. I'm not, you know, calling, you know, Saudi Arabia and America used to be like this. Now they can't even get their phone calls answered. You see what I'm saying? That just shows you what's going on right now. Oh, that's Biden on the phone? Yeah, take a message. I mean, that's how far this place has fallen. You can't even get the Saudis on the phone anymore. They want nothing to do with you now. You know, and now you're trying to kiss up to Venezuela after you pretty much, you know, sanctioned them to death and tried to install a new government there, and that didn't really work out. So it just shows you how things are going right now. It's the fall of Babylon, and it's crazy to watch. Like a lot of these other YouTubers are talking about Babylon falling and admitting that America's Babylon, but see, they're their history is tainted because their history only goes back to maybe the 60s and the 70s. They want to talk about that, but they won't go any further back. I'm like, yeah, that's, you guys need to keep on going back now. You have to understand why the Most High is unleashing this judgment worldwide. You know, and you can tell by the fact that all these people, all these countries are, well, actually, like a lot of the people on the internet, on YouTube, you know, they'll only go back to maybe the 60s and the 70s. They'll talk about what happened in, you know, Iraq, what happened in Afghanistan, but they won't keep going back. So y'all got to keep on going back. Y'all got to go back to, you know, I said when the Most High started your blessing, that's when all the Most High started keeping all the track. He was keeping track of all the things you've been doing. He didn't just start in the 60s and 70s. He didn't just start keeping track when you guys were in Afghanistan, okay, or in Iraq or in Libya. The Most High's been keeping track for a very long time. Most High's been keeping track for a very long time of all the things you guys have been doing, okay? So you're not gonna get away with just, you know, well, you're gonna get a pass on all that. That's not how this is. You gotta keep going all the way back in order for you to understand why this judgment, why we're seeing this judgment every day. The world is a much different place now for a reason. It's a much different place now for a reason. And your pastors and your priests, your politicians aren't telling you why these things are happening. We've been trying to tell you for a very long time. And the vast majority of the world has just been shunning us and ignoring us because as things were going, you know, swimmingly, pretty much normal for everyone else, they were able to just ignore us all the time. Okay, now the things are, you know, going upside down, and you know, like you said, well, you get the Pope saying things like, you know, you guys got to stop bombing these cities. You know, you're going to turn these cities into cemeteries. After 2 weeks, you guys are already calling for an end of hostilities. After 2 weeks, you guys weren't even getting started in 2 weeks. You know, you guys are just barely, you know, getting your feet wet. But see, now that it's the Most High is turning this judgment on you, you guys want things to end quickly. You know, I said, and that's just shows the hypocrisy. You know, and the vast majority of the world's not going to say anything about the Pope bringing out, you know, talking about wanting hostilities to end in Ukraine when they're the ones who've been actually doing all these things. They're the ones that have been responsible for destroying our people, you know, for the last few thousand years. You know, and I mean, this shows you just how deep this awakening is right now. You know, people today are talking about, like, they want to talk about, like, who's working for the Most High, you know, and what does the work of the Most High look like? You know, and how over here on this channel, I guess, you know, we're alluding to that all we do is read books, and that other people are really doing the work of the Most High. And see, that just shows you, I mean, I've had plenty of people say the same thing for a long time. How the hell do you have so many subscribers and all you do is read books? Like, anybody can do that. I mean, you're right, anybody can do that. I said, it depends on what the Most High wants. You see what I'm saying? This is the thing. I find it pretty hilarious because what it is this. We're not reading books, okay? We are calling the Most High's chosen people. We're calling the Most High's chosen people. You might see, what you see is just the physical, you know, views of what you're seeing. You're not seeing the spiritual connection that we have. That's what you guys don't understand. That's what these people don't understand, okay? To you, it just looks like we're just reading books. But see, we are connected. We are connected with the All, and the All breathes through us all. He breathes through the ones that have been called to call his people. That's why you don't see the spiritual things that are going on. All you see is this black dude's out here reading books. That's it. And that's not doing the work of the Most High. That's why you don't understand this, because you're not part of this spiritual connection that's going on. That's the problem. You see what I'm saying? And I get it. You think that you think that serving the Most High is what your oppressors have taught you is serving the Most High. That's the problem. See, we were destroyed for a lack of knowledge. That's how we got taken from the top to the bottom, because we didn't have our knowledge. Our knowledge was taken away from us and given to everyone else. And this is why I see people who are still stuck in this whole mindset of what they see, and that's really what following the Most High or doing the work is all about. See, it's deeper than that. And that's the problem with some of these people. They don't understand that. Okay? You think doing these physical things is what the Most High wants right now. And who does that? The church. See, everything that you think is doing the work is doing what the priesthood of Mahan says is doing the work. They're the ones who have manipulated our scriptures to make it seem as if you have to be doing baptisms. That's the only way of doing the work. Okay? You have to, I don't know, supposed to be out feeding the poor. I guess that's the only way you can do it. Okay? These outside, I said, hold on real quick. These things that you see on the outside. That's what the Pharisees did. The Pharisees did all these things where they wanted to do things on the outside so people could hold them up. So that people could see, oh man, look at all these great works that they're doing. Man, these people are next to godly. You see, that's the thing that you're looking for. You're looking for these physical, tokens that everyone can see. Okay, and that makes you think that you're serving the Most High. And you are. You're serving a God. You're serving the God of this world. He's the one that set up all of these certain things that you have to do. Who are the ones? I mean, as a family here, who are the ones? Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say, Brother D'Angelo. Preaching and standing on the corners, doing exactly the same thing. Is that something that we were supposed to do? Or is that something that they added into the scriptures? You see what I'm saying? Because really, only people who are going to get this are people that have that spirit in them. And the Most High is the one that's going to bring those people in. You see what I'm saying? So is that something we were supposed to do, just sitting on the corners and yelling and screaming at everybody? Was that part of it too? Or was that something that was kind of thrown in there to make us think a certain way? You see what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of things that you really got to think about. It's not as easy just, okay, well, it says it in the Bible, so therefore that's exactly how it is. Because they had their hands all over our scriptures. So if they've had their hand all over the scriptures, then they're going to also manipulate the ways that they say is you have to serve the Most High. They're going to say, well, you got to be doing this, and that. And that's the only way that you can serve the Most High. And if you're not doing that, then you're not really serving the Most High. You're not really being used by the Most High, because you can only be used the way that we say. And see, that's all part of this whole awakening. You see what I'm saying? We're reading other books. I said, we're reading a lot of information. I said, because what has been the one thing that the other nations have been so worried about us doing? Have they been worried about us doing baptisms? Have they been so worried about us going to churches and doing church stuff? Or have they been really worried about us reading and getting understanding? Is that what they've really been working at? Is that why they make books $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000? Is that why they do those kinds of things? Because they don't want us to get our information. See, that's the whole thing. See, when you don't understand the fact that all this information was ours originally, when you don't understand that, then you'll start saying things like, oh, don't read that book because that's a Gentile book. Don't read this book because that's a Gentile book. So you're giving them all this credit for information that was never theirs in the first place. You see what I'm saying? If you go to 2nd Esdras 14, which is what a lot of these other people never talk about. 2nd Esdras 14, 44 and down, it talks about how one set of books is given to everyone, but other books and understandings is given to a certain group of people. So it doesn't say anything about giving those people doing baptisms. It doesn't say anything about them feeding the poor. It doesn't say anything about them doing all the things that the churches tell you to do. It pretty much tells you that these people have these books, and that when they get these books, that they're going to be a fountain of knowledge for the people. You see what I'm saying? Like they become a fountain of knowledge for the people. So yeah, they might be sitting on it might look like they're sitting on their butts at the house reading books. I said, because that's what you see physically, but you are missing the whole point of what is happening spiritually. And that's actually, we'll talk about that real quick. You know, there's scriptures on all this, but see, these are the scriptures that they hide from you. Let's see here. These are the scriptures that they hide from you. John 14:26, the Holy Spirit will bring things into remembrance. Okay? The Spirit will breathe things, well, that's actually the tripartite. Let me get that real fast. That's in the Nag Hammadi. So the Holy Spirit is going to be bringing things back to our remembrance. So to some people, it'll look like we're just sitting around on our butts reading books. But the Most High is bringing things back into our remembrance. That's all part of this. And see, this is all part of the prophecies that the other nations have missed. They think that everything is about, only thing that prophecy is going on is Gog Magog, Russia. That's all prophecy, but there's no other prophecies going on. See, us awakening is a huge part of prophecy. Let's get this real quick. This is from the Nag Hammadi. But see, if you don't read books like this, because you're only limited, you've limited yourself to 4 or 5 books, then you're not going to know anything about this. Okay, so you might want to just turn this off and go ahead and go back to your other channel. Okay, because like I said, if you don't read these kinds of books, this information is going to go right over your head. Talks about the Spirit, page 71. For the Father, the exalted one, they know by his will, which is the Spirit that breathes through the members of the all and gives them a thought to search for the unknown. Just as somebody is moved by a fragrance to seek the source of that fragrance, and the fragrance of the Father surpasses such unworthy things. Okay, so the Spirit right here is that breathes to the members of the all and gives them a thought to search for the unknown. So see, we're going to be searching for the unknown. We're going to be in books looking for the truth. We're going to be praying to the Most High to send us the Holy Spirit to give us this understanding. These are the things that have been hidden. These are the huge parts of prophecy that the vast majority of the world is totally oblivious to. They don't know that the true people of the Most High are searching for the unknown, and that the Holy Spirit is breathing through us and bringing us together. You see this? You see, but see, this is all, even when people do talk, that's actually a way for the Most High to get us to concentrate and really concentrate on what it is that he wants us to bring out. You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter when they say certain things or they try to attack whatever else. I don't care about that. It's like, okay, Most High, when I hear these kinds of things, what is it that you want me to focus on? What is it that you want me to bring, to the people? What is it you want me to bring? Because there's a reason why you made him say certain things. So then therefore you must be want me to, to concentrate on something to bring to the family. Okay? And this is a huge part of prophecy that the vast majority of the world is missing. They're missing the fact that the chosen people are searching for the truth. The chosen people are not, pretty much relegated to only listening to the way that the Gentiles have brought, tell us how to worship. And that's the whole thing. See, people that are still in the church, whole church setting, they're still stuck doing things as like the church wants you to do. That the only way for you to do, to worship the Most High is to do baptisms or to do church or to do, certain things, all come together and live together in one community and things like that. That's all part of it, because the churches have pretty much dictated, they've told us how we need to worship. And they pretty much made all the spiritual stuff like taboo and don't look at it. You see what I'm saying? So that's the Spirit. That's just one. That's the tripartite tractate. But see, if your people say, well, hey, Grayson, you're just a true royal. But they'll say, oh, well, that's not approved. Yeah, again, who didn't approve it? You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. I said, it doesn't matter if they've approved it or not. Let's go to this one. Tripartite tractate, page 97. See, this is like, when we talk about going on street corners and just calling certain people, and I said the Most High has a certain people that he's calling. He's known us from the beginning. That's why when you look back at your life, you start to see like how all of these events in your life has played out to get you here to this point. Okay, the Father's plan. This is the Father's plan right here. Now the Father knew him in advance, since he existed in his deliberations before anything had yet come into being, where he also had the ones for whom he revealed him. He laid the deficiency upon that which lasts for limited periods of time for the glory of his fullness. It is the fact that he was unknown that made it possible for him to show his benevolence by making himself known. And thus, receiving knowledge about him is a manifestation of his generosity and the revelation of his abundant sweetness, which is the second glory. Consequently, in this way, he is, in fact, the cause of ignorance, as well as the originator of knowledge. See, the Most High is the cause of ignorance and the originator of knowledge. The Most High is control of the right-hand side and the left-hand side. So if you're ignorant and you don't know what's going on, that's because the Most High has left you there. If you're getting this understanding and you're growing, that's because the Most High has brought you there. It has nothing to do with, us earning it. Us thinking that, we earned this. Look at all the great things I've done for you, Most High. Look at all the great things I've done for you. Look, I did this for the church. I did that for the church. I said, Most High, he already chose who he's going to get, who's going to get this, and who's not from jump before we even got here. You see, so we're not earning our way in. Okay? This is all the Most High's plan. Listen. Now, see, and a lot of people will say things like, the Bible has the Word of God, and like Yahweh never said anything else. Jesus never said anything else besides what's in the Bible. Well, let's take a look at another one. It's called The Wisdom of Jesus Christ. That's in the Nag Hammadi also. It's not in the Bible. So he actually did have other writings that didn't get approved and didn't get put in the Bible. This is in the Nag Hammadi also. Page 288 if you have it. It's called, as you can see, my book's a mess. The Wisdom of Jesus Christ. Okay? So it'll be 288. It says, I have come from infinite light. I am here. And I can tell you exactly what the truth is. For any life that comes from itself is defiled, made by itself. Forethought lacks wisdom. Fate remains senseless. It says, it is given to you, however, to know the truth. Whoever deserves knowledge will receive it. Whoever has not been conceived by the semen of unclean sexual rubbing, but by the first one who was sent, for that person is immortal among mortal people. So we have immortal people that are in the midst of mortal people. And those are going to be the ones that are going to be called here at the end. You see, like I said, this is much deeper than just someone sitting around reading books. There's way more going on that meets the eye. And that's okay if that's how people see things. I mean, hey, that's the way the Most High's left certain people to see it, and that's just the way that it is. Okay, yes, my book is a little warm. You don't need, no, I love this book. Thank you. I wouldn't even touch it if I had a new one. I have all these notes in here and everything else. I said, I love this book. I said, it's got a lot of meat in here. I said, these books are here, like I said, are no joke. I said, we can do these all night. Wisdom, let's see. Wisdom of Jesus Christ, page 290. Let's check that one out. So I spent many hours studying, these books here. So same thing. Let's see here, page 290. Let's see here. The Father in the Kingless Generation. Well, no, actually, let's read this other part here. It says, I'm trying to find out where I want to start here. Well, let's go. The perfect Savior said to him, I have come from the infinite to tell you everything. The Spirit who was the one conceives, the one who has the power of conception and can give form, so that the abundant wealth within might be revealed. In mercy and love, the Spirit wished to produce fruit independently, that the Spirit might not enjoy goodness alone, but that other spirits of the unshakable generation might produce bodies and fruit, glory and honor, and imperishability, and infinite grace of the Spirit. In this way, the goodness of the Spirit could be revealed by the self-conceived God, the Father of all imperishability, and those who were to come later. But nothing had become visible yet. There are many differences among the imperishable beings. He spoke out and said, whoever has ears to hear about infinite things should hear. It is to those who are awake that I speak. See, Yahushua didn't come speaking to everyone. He came for certain ones. He says, whoever has ears to hear about infinite things should hear. It is to those who are awake that I speak. But see, the church has said, oh, he came talking to everyone. He came bringing, Jesus came for everybody. He came to die for the sins of everyone. See, these other books say other things, and they don't want you to hear that. So therefore, we do not accept those books. We don't accept that information. And that's exactly why you got all these people saying, well, this is how you have to worship the Most High. This is how you have to worship God. If you're not doing it the way that we say, the way that the church has said, the way that the priesthood of Mahan has said, then, you're going to go to hell. You're not really serving Christ. Okay? But you're dealing with a very minute amount of information. And all they can say about these kinds of books is they're going to say, that's not the word of God. That's not in my Bible. Of course it's not in your Bible, because they said you can't have it. So you can't have it because it says things that goes against the church. It says, he went on and said, everything from the perishable will perish, since it is from the perishable, but everything from the imperishable does not perish, but becomes imperishable, since it is from the imperishable. Many people have gone astray because they did not know about this distinction, and they have died. Like I said, this is from the wisdom of Jesus Christ. It's in quotations, things that Yahushua said himself. And then I'm going to tell you that certain people come from the perishable realm, and some come from the imperishable realm. They try to tell you that everyone is the same. Everyone is equal. And this is telling you that that's not the case. So since that's the way that, the church has set things up, then, they can't have that. So therefore, these kinds of things, they don't approve. Okay? Like I said, that's just barely tipping the iceberg. So like I said, when you hear people saying certain things about, who's really serving God and who's not, I said, you're dealing with people who, like I said, have very small amounts of understanding, because they've pretty much put themselves in a box. They put their God in a box. They only read a certain amount of books, a certain amount of information, and I mean, like I said, and if that's their lot, then so be it. Okay? I said, that's just one couple of pages from that book. Trust me, I can go into that if I wanted to for hours if I would like to. So like I said, so please, miss me with the, you're not serving Christ if you're not doing the things that the church has told me to do. I said, because like I said, there's a whole lot of information. I said, but it's not for everyone. The people who, have that spiritual connection to the Most High, they're going to be drawn to this information. They're going to be drawn to this understanding. So like I said, to the outside world, it's going to look a certain way. It's going to look like, oh, this dude's he's only what? He's just reading books, and these people are coming and watching him. That doesn't make any sense. That he's not serving God, because he's not doing this, and that. And like I said, that's the way it's going to look to carnal people. That's how it's going to look to carnal people. Okay? And that's why you got a whole world right now that can't see the fact that we are the Most High's chosen people. You got a whole world that still thinks that we're African Americans. You got a whole world that thinks that our history started with slavery. You see what I'm saying? So if you got a people that think like that, they got carnal mindset. everything around them is falling apart. Everything around them, is falling apart, burning down. None of the stuff that they told was true. None of it has worked out at all. And they're still following the same politicians. They're still following the same pastors. They're still following the same priests. And they have not made any adjustments or any changes whatsoever. Does that mean, that makes no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that makes absolutely no sense to me. If I figured out that these people don't know what the hell they're talking about, I'm not going to continue to listen to them. I'm going to go and find, some other alternative information. And, it's going to be the people that, you might not think are the ones that actually have the information, are the ones that are going to have the correct information. That's how the Most High said. He's going to choose people that aren't the class of society. He's going to choose the people that are at the bottom, the ones that you would least expect to have this information. Trust me, I'm the last person. A lot of people are going to be like, when they click on a video, oh, it's black dude. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. He doesn't know anything. I said, okay, that's cool. You can believe whatever you want. If that's what kept you away, that's what the Most High used then. The Most High used, my physical appearance to keep you away. And that's cool. I'm not the guy that's gonna be like, oh, come on, brother, give me a chance. Just come, give me a chance. Just sit down for 10, 15 minutes and listen to what I have to say. No, I'm like, that's cool. If that's what you think, hit the road. That's cool. You can go ahead and listen to one of the other white pastors you're used to, and go ahead and go check that out. Or one of the priests. Go do that. That's cool. The days of us trying to get you to accept the truth, I said, those days are over. I said, you're going to have to figure that out on your own. The Most High is bringing the information. You're not going to be able to refute it. I said, you're not going to be able to refute the things that we're bringing out. So, I said, so that's up to you. But I just wanted to touch on that because, like I said, that's just the Most High. Using a situation so that we can explain how this is a spiritual awakening. I said, and I don't have all the answers. I never claim to have all the answers. But see, what I've seen, and I'm saying the whole family has seen now, we have a nation of specialists. You know what I'm saying? I never claimed to have all the information. Never have I claimed to say, hey, I've already told you before, I'm not a church. Never claimed to be a church. Never claimed to do church stuff. I said, that's not my calling. That's not what I am. I've told you that from the beginning. So to compare what I do to what a church does, I said it's going to be totally different. I said, because that's not what I'm used for. I said, it told us that we, on the second address 1444 on down, it tells you the vast majority of the world is going to get certain books. At the end, the Most High is going to give the rest of the books to a certain group of people. And those people are going to give more knowledge and more understanding at the end. If that's what the Most High is having me do, then that's my lot and that's what I do. The Most High is giving it to other brothers and sisters to do the same thing, then that's what they do. It says we're all different parts of the body. But see, when you're stuck in that church mentality, you think that everyone has to be doing the same thing. Everyone has to be doing exactly the same kind of a thing. And that's not how it is. I love the information that Brother Maine brings out. He brings out his particular information. I love the information that Brother Big Levi brings out. He goes to a certain kind of information. I love the information that Brother D'Angelo brings out. That's a certain information. I love listening to Sister Pat. She brings out the information. I love listening to the Hebrew Widow. She brings information. I love listening to True Royal. She brings out different information. I love listening to Lisa Cabrera. She brings out different information. I love listening to Kudameo. He brings out different information. All of us have the Spirit coursing through our bodies. Okay? All of us have that information coursing through our bodies, and the Most High is like, okay, you bring this out. You bring that out. You bring this out. You do this. You do that. To me, that is more extraordinary than having just one person. Exactly, brother, the drop. Exactly. 432 the drop. I said, that, to me, that is more extraordinary than just one person bringing out this information. You see what I'm saying? Because it's too much. You know, something's funny, okay? If you guys remember, when I'm going to start bringing us more of these videos about the Greeks, okay? But like Aristotle, supposedly, okay, when they got into Egypt, they got all these books, okay? And they got all these books, and they said, oh, like Aristotle brought out like, I don't know, 30 or 40, or no, he wrote like 60 or 70 books, some ridiculous amount of books on all these different topics. But it was like one dude brought out all this information on on all these different topics, which is physically impossible. You see what I'm saying? But see, that's what the Gentiles do. Oh yeah, one person, they brought all this information out. You see what I'm saying? I was like, yeah. And they said, that's just, and they were in the book, there was like, you know, Soul and Legacy, it was like, that's just impossible. There's no way that one person could be, could master all these different things. I said, that's just impossible to do. You couldn't do that with one person, and you couldn't do it with one person in one lifetime. But see, that's what these guys act like. Hey, we all have to be on point. We all have to do exactly the same thing. We're all got to be doing water baptisms. We all got to be doing, teaching this doctrine. We all got to be teaching the same doctrine. We all got to be doing exactly the same thing. I says, cause this ministry does this. And I was like, that's good for you, man. If that's what the Most High wants you to do, I said, and then go do that. I said, but we all have our blessings that the Most High brings. There's certain people, trust me, I get information, I said, from people that have certain information on certain topics that is just way over my head, way over my head. You see what I'm saying? I said, Brother Abdullah brings out great information. He's being used to bring out his information. It was crazy because, like I said, Brother Abdullah Sir, I said, him and I communicated through text messages before he even did videos. Through text messages, like through Instagram. And I could just tell the brother was really, really sharp. This was even before he even did videos. I said, he would kind of reach out to me, and we would just, chop it up a little bit here and there. We didn't talk very much, but here and there. And eventually he started doing videos. And the Most High blessed him with understanding. But I have a lot of brothers and sisters who are like really sharp, who give me a lot of information. And it's like, our nation is full of so many extraordinary brothers and sisters who have so much knowledge and so much understanding that this is the way the Most High had our nation in the beginning. And this is why it was so important for him to keep us all separated. And this is why, this is why the vast majority of the world does not see the awakening of the Most High's chosen people, because it's a spiritual awakening. It's a spiritual awakening right now. And I said, I hope I didn't miss anyone. If I did, trust me, I said, I love all of you. I said, it's just a lot of Israel. Like I said, Israel is dope. I said, Israel is ridiculous. I said, we all have our blessings in all different areas. You see what I'm saying? So I don't push we all have to be doing the same thing. I says, we all don't have to be doing the same thing. Most High got you doing your thing. He got you doing your thing. Got the camp brothers doing their thing. And you ain't gonna hear me. I'm not gonna sit here and just dog people out. Well, you ain't doing what I'm doing. So therefore, who the hell do you think you are? You need to be doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, we all have our gifts and talents. Just like the Most High said, I gave this brothers and sisters, I gave him 1 talent. I gave this one 3. I gave this one 5. I expect a good, I want a return on this 5. I want a return on those 3, and I want a return on that 1. You see what I'm saying? And Most High wants a return on whatever talent that he gave you. And then don't be thinking that you're better because you got 5, and don't think you're better because you got 3. You see what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing. People be, oh damn, Most High gave me like 3 talents. You know what? Shoot, I'm the shit. Everybody need to be doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, I said that's not the way this works out. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get all your talents taken away and given to somebody else. You see what I'm saying? And see, and like I said, the talents, like I said, when you sit there, and I think about that all the time, like, hey, a lot of people, I look at it like this. A lot of people were given 1 talent. And with that one talent, they did nothing with it. They buried it in the ground, which means to me, when I hear about them buried in the ground, they buried their talent into this world. They buried their talents into things of this world. And they built themselves up in this world. But when the Most High comes back, what does the Most High say? They say, oh, you did a great job building yourself up here. Keep all that. He says, no. You did all this stuff right here. Yeah, you know what? You didn't do anything for me though, right? No. Okay, so I'm gonna take all the stuff that you did, and I'm gonna give it to the one who had 5 talents, who doubled, my return. I'm gonna give it to him or her. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, don't think that because you're doing certain things here on the earth, and then you're doing things. I said because a lot of these things that we do on the earth is pretty much to appease Satan. I mean, we're appeasing the priesthood of Mahan. They're the ones that tell you how to worship. They're the ones who have told you how to worship. Hold on real fast. Getting my notes here right quick. Let me see, where did I get that one from? I'd be cracking up with people who be talking about, man, Big Judah, you don't teach the Bible. Da, 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 da. I'm like, dude, if I wanted to just teach the Bible, I got all this stuff. This is just like one of my notebooks with all these pages of stuff. If all I wanted to do is just teach the Bible and stay in one book, and I could do that all day. I said so. It's like there's more to this than just that. Let me see here. What was that? Losing our identity. See, this is why at the end, the Most High says that what looks like a certain way to you as far as we're just reading books, we lost our identity. Okay? This losing of our identity is enormous. Okay? We lost our identity, and then the other nations have taken it, and hidden our identity in all these different books. If you've read the Psalms of Solomon, I happen to have this one here. I don't know if this is actually the right one. I don't know if it's in this book. I don't think it's going to be in this one. But it talks about, it's not in this one. It's in volume 2. I don't have volume 2 with me. But it talks about how the whole world has obliterated our memory from the earth. The whole world has obliterated our memory from the earth. Do you think that somehow you're going to get your whole memory back reading 4 or 5 books? You're not going to get all of that information back in 4 or 5 books. The Most High has He used the Gentiles to hide our memories all over the place. So therefore, we're going to have to go to many different areas to get this understanding. Romans 11:25, blindness has come on Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Well, the fullness of the Gentiles has been fulfilled. So now that blindness is being taken off. And now we're given the opportunity to chase after our history once again. But see, this is why you got these, they set up these other people that look like us, because they set them up to keep us, from chasing after our history. They tell you, because their whole main thing is, those aren't our books. That's not our information. Don't read those books. That's not ours. That's Gentile information. When you prove it to me, can you please go back thousands of years ago and show me where this information came from the Gentiles? Let me help you with that. You're not going to be able to. I said, because pretty much even the Gentiles show you they don't have ancient history. They say pretty much their history started with who? Who do they always talk about when they tell you that, when they start talking about history, who do they always refer to? I'll let you guys tell me who they're always going to refer to. Exactly. Thank you, Ollie. The Greeks. Now, the Greeks ain't been around that long. So if you're going to say that that's as far as back as you're going, then what happened to all the, then if you're the talk about the Greeks, okay, and we already showed you that the Greeks, all their information that they stole from the Egyptians. So therefore, then you don't have ancient history. So if you don't have ancient history, then how is it when I start reading about these other books, you keep saying that there's this Gentile information? See, it's not Gentile information. It's our information that they've taken and assumed for themselves and told the whole world that this is their information. And now you got supposed people who are supposed Hebrews who are saying exactly, they just regurgitate the same things they've been told. Oh, that's Gentile information. No, it's not. Prove it. Prove it. Because if all you're going to go back to is Greeks, and I got plenty of Greek now sources where I can show you that nope, that's not Romans. The Romans stole that from the Greeks, and the Greeks stole that from the Egyptians. So therefore, there is no ancient Greeks. There is no ancient Greek information. They're really slick as if they're talking about Greeks, they'll say, well, if they're talking about the Egyptians, they'll say, well, the Egyptians and Pythagoras. Oh, they'll say the Egyptians and the Pythagorean school, or they'll say, oh, the Egyptians or Pliny or something like that. And I'm just like, yeah, this dude Pythagoras was nowhere around when these Egyptians were writing all this stuff. But that's how they do it. You see what I'm saying? So they do that in order to keep themselves relevant. So therefore, you got all these people who will say things like, all you're doing is bringing out these ancient books, and this is Gentile information. Well, like I said, can you prove it? Can you prove that these are the original Greek information? You can't. You're not going to be able to. Okay. So let me see here. Let's say page 33. Let me go there real quick. Now, this is something that is in the Testament of Asher. Okay, this is going to explain like why we have to read so many other books in order to be, the books just give us a starting point. I said we didn't realize that all this information was ours. I said because it's been every time we go and start searching, there's all these roadblocks all the time. Okay, but in the Testament of Asher, okay, it's page 818, verse 7. It's going to be from the Old Testament pseudepigrapha. It says, "You shall not know your own lands, tribe, or language, but he will gather you in faith through his compassion, and on account of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." So see, you're not going to get all of our information in the Bible. I hate to break it to you, because it says you're not going to know your own lands, tribe, or language. You're not going to know any of that information. It says because it's not going to be given to you. It's going to be hidden. Hey, brother Kurimio, it's good seeing you. I said it's information that's going to be hidden from you. Okay? So you're not going to have that. So therefore, you have to start to do studies in order to be searching for this information. And there's no way that one of us is going to be able to get all this information. That's why he uses brother Kurimio to do all that research and bring all that information out. He's used 432 the drop to bring us information. You see what I'm saying? He might use people that aren't in the walk. I know people talk about Dane Calloway. I listen to some of his stuff. I mean, I chew the meat, spit out the bones, just like with anyone. You see what I'm saying? There's so it's like, hey, you go and you study on your own, but the Most High has given you all these different people to bring this information to you. And like I said, we got all these people. I said, we got a lot of Gentiles here. Hey, to the Gentiles that are here, go study it for yourself as well. I said, we share to many people that have stations, that have channels here, YouTube stations. Go check out their information. Study it for yourself. Don't take any man's, word for it. Don't take my word for it. I tell people all the time, don't trust everything I say. I said, go study it for yourself. I said, we got all these different people who brought all this information. I said, go study it for yourself. I did see, I said, Brother Greg or Hawood brought out a couple of videos. He brought out one, my gosh, I don't know if her name is Gina. The lady you guys watches the stars was talking about that rock that broke. But she brings out good information. I said, there's definitely plenty of Gentiles here. I said, and it's cool. Hey, you guys should be here learning this truth as well. If it's the Most High has called you to be exposed to this, jump into it. Study it. I says, I don't hate anyone. I says, Gina Paul, yeah. I says, I don't hate anyone. I said, I'm not here to hate anybody else. I'm here to do what the Most High wants me to do. If we introduce you to other brothers and sisters who have information, I said, then go and study it. Sister Naima, definitely. I said, the killer stone, exactly, thank you. The killer stone broke, right? So you got all these, you said you got all this information. You got all these different signs everywhere. I said, you got all this information everywhere. Study for yourself. I said, because, hey, we've all been lied to. You know what I'm saying? Jews and Gentiles alike, we've all been lied to. I said, and now's the time, like I said, we're going to expose you to a lot of different information. You said we're going to expose you guys to a lot of information, a lot of different books you probably haven't heard before. If you go back and look at older videos, you can go check those out on, we got bigjudah.com, where there's a lot of information. You can go there and you can download information as well. I said, there's a whole lot of information. It says, but I just don't know which, I don't have my, I only happen to have one in my room. I don't know. This Testament of 12 is here. I just have my notes, but I don't necessarily have all the books necessarily with me. I don't think this is going to be in this one. But I'll read this one. Odes of Solomon. See, a lot of people haven't even heard of these kinds of books before. The Odes of Solomon. It's in the Old Testament pseudepigrapha. Talks about how there's going to be a deceiver and an error will imitate the beloved, the bride, and they will cause the world to err. They cause them to vomit up their wisdom and their knowledge. And that's exactly what this world has done. They've caused the whole world to vomit up the wisdom and their knowledge. And that was all going towards the times of the Gentiles. Well, now that we're out of that time of the Gentiles, the Most High has now given us back this understanding, which is going to take a lot of work. Not work for one person, not work for one church, not work for just one group of people. The Most High is going to use whoever it is that he's chosen to use. And it's kind of funny to think like, only your group is the only people that the Most High is dealing with. I said, that's kind of, I don't know, kind of selfish, don't you think? Dude, the universe is just vast beyond comprehension. But the Most High is only going to use you, and the Most High is only going to use your group, and the rest of us can just go to hell if we don't do things the way you say. Come on now. I said that just doesn't even make any sense. I said, I just want to be used however the Most High wants to use me. If he wants me to use me just to do one little thing there, then that's cool. If he wants me to use you to do a couple things, then that's cool. I said, I just want to be used. However it is the Most High wants to use me, and that's a beautiful thing. And that goes for Jews, Gentiles alike. I said, so the Most High can use us however it is that he wants. I said, and that's how it should be. I said, hey, I'm not going to try to make it sound like, oh, he can't use you. He can only use me. He can't use, I was like, that's just kind of like being really, I don't know, man. I said, that's very arrogant to think like that he can't use anyone else that might have a different use than you. Excuse me. This is another one from the Psalms of Solomon. Okay, like I said, these are books that, the Gentiles said, nah, we don't approve these. Yeah, I wouldn't approve them either because they all tell on you. This is from the Psalms of Solomon. It's also in the Old Testament pseudepigrapha. If you happen to have one, it'd be on page 664 and 665. I'm not sure which edition, okay? But it says, when my soul slumbered, I was far away from the Lord, wretched for a time. I sank into sleep, far from God. For a moment, my soul was poured to death. Okay? So again, this is from the Psalms of Solomon. And talking about when we were asleep. Okay, so when my soul slumbered, I was far away from the Lord, wretched for a time. I sank into sleep, far from God. For a moment, my soul was poured to death. Now, when we slumbered, did we not go to these Priest of Mahan churches? I did. When my soul was asleep, I was in Priest of Mahan churches. Did I get baptized when I was in the Priest of Mahan church? Yep. Was I part of a ministry that went to prison houses or went and served the poor? Yep. We used to go down to Mexico, and we would go down to Mexico and build like a house in a day for a family. So I would do things like that. I was part of a youth group. Yep. But was I following the Most High? Nope. I said I was doing all these things. I said I went to I said I was deep into my youth group. So I would be doing all these things at the church, going to the church, doing all these different things, volunteering time. We would have our Easter shows there at Crystal Cathedral and then Christmas shows at Crystal Cathedral. And I would be having to go and help with, parking, all that kind of stuff, doing all that kind of stuff, right? So I was doing all these things for the church that looked like I was, hey, I'm doing the work of the Lord. I'm doing the work for God. I think we all did that. We're all giving money. We're all giving our time. I lived at the church, right? See, man, stop reminding me. Right? I says, but what did it say? What did it say right here? Songs of Solomon. When my soul slumbered, I was far away from the Lord. So I was doing all that, but I was still far away from the Most High. Even while I had all these works, doing all these things. You see what I'm saying? So that doesn't mean just because you're doing these physical outreaches, you're doing these physical things, that you're serving the Most High. And see, when you come into the truth, people want to act like, oh, well, I'm doing the work, I'm doing the same kinds of things, so now it really counts. Nah, man, I said that it's the same stuff that we were doing before. I said you brought church from, from being, part of the priesthood of Mahan. You just brought the same things into, the supposed awakening. That's it. That's it. I said, you know what I'm saying? I said, so you're not doing anything different. I said, you're doing exactly the same things that they did back then. And then making it seem as if somehow, you're more godly now. I said, because you're supposedly doing it under the title of a Hebrew Israelite. Tied into the church, exactly. All these different things. I did all this stuff. I said, did that mean that all of a sudden I want to say in Jeremiah, I did a video about a while ago, and how people says it doesn't matter, like if you sent your kids to college. I don't know if you guys remember which one it was, but as in Jeremiah, and it's pretty much like you could do this, and that. None of that stuff matters. Only thing that matters is, did you know me? Did you have a relationship with me? That's what the Most High is wanting. So do you really know him? Have you had that spirit breathe through you? Breathe through the all with you. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure I know someone here will remember which one that was. Jeremiah. It's in Jeremiah. I just don't remember offhand which one it is. But it's like, people like put their kids through college. You did all these things for your wife. You did all these things for your husband. And then at the end, the Most High is like, yeah, you did all this stuff, but that wasn't for me. I want to know, did you have a relationship with me? Did you know me? And that's what this is all about. I said, the Most High is now calling us back in these days. He's calling us back, and like I said, to the outside world, people who have not had their eyes open, I said, it's going to look a certain way. It might look like, hey, these niggas, all they doing is sitting here reading books. You're not doing anything. I say, okay, well, that's cool. I say, hey, if that's what you believe, that's cool. I said, but there's a lot more going on underneath that you don't see. I said, I've shared brothers videos before, and it would be like the Most High would kind of like, don't share it yet, share it later. Even like Brother D'Angelo, his video just happened to pop up on my feed one time. Video had been out for a while. I watched the video. It was a really good video. Shared it. And then ever since then, I don't know, there was something different about that brother that I noticed from jump. I've seen other people from that group, and I've seen their videos, and I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. But there was something different that I noticed about Brother D'Angelo. There's just something different. But that's because we already had a connection. You see what I'm saying? I said, you just got these people, these connections. Your brother Yaiquab, I said, they're just these connections that you'll have. I said, there's just connections that you'll have. Things might, even with people in the family, you might butt heads and whatever else. I said, but eventually, if you go back or you fall out, eventually the Most High wants you back, he'll bring you back together again. I said, because it's all about family. I said, I always remember my boy Brother Maine, he reached out to me and shared a video, and I said, at first I was like, it's cool, but something it just told me, don't share it right now, but then later on he came out with another video, I think talking about the Mormons. He was breaking things down, and I was like, yes. I said, that the Most High put in our spirit, share this one, put this one out, and that's just how the spirit works. So, and like I said, this is the beautiful thing about this information. Like I said, and these brothers bring out information that, hey, maybe I'm not called to bring out that information. Maybe that, like I said, maybe that's brother Main's thing. That's brother Levi's thing. You know what I'm saying? Brother Adir. I said, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we're all at different levels, and that's how I look at it. Like, hey, that might not be for me to bring out. I might put my toe in the water, but that might not be for me. So, you know, Most High, whoever it's supposed to be out here for, use me to, you know, share them with the family so that the family can be exposed to this information. But if someone wants to be the only one shining, if someone wants to be the only one that's shining and everybody else has to, you know, fall in line, then, you know, that's gonna be difficult. Some people don't want to be other people shining more than them. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I said, you know what I'm saying? All I want is the Most High's will to be done. You know what I'm saying? I said, there's enough here for all of Israel to be blessed. There's enough. Yeah, I said this is an infinite. Our power is infinite. There's enough for everyone to shine, for everyone to be blessed. You know what I'm saying? So that's my part. I said that's more of my part is that the Most High gets the glory, because that's the one ultimately who gets all the glory for everything, and then He's the one that's going to bestow blessings on all of us. Like I said, it's just connections that you see with people, and I said that's all just the Most High. So like I said, but that's why we have to be very careful with just looking at certain scriptures and thinking like, okay, this scripture means this. Like, what is it? The one about like the man who doesn't take care of his family is like worse than an infidel, right? Okay, well, Donald Trump takes care of his family. Donald Trump makes money. Joe Biden makes money. I'm sure he takes care of his family. Does that mean that he's good to go because they take care of their family? You see what I'm saying? Like I don't think that it's like that. And then you look at the apostles. What did they do? Did they stay with their family and take care of their family, or were they called to leave their families and let the dead bury the dead, and then follow the Most High, or follow Yahushua? You see, as I said, that's why you got to be really careful when you're looking at scripture and you think that it's all this way. You know, I said it's not. As I said, it's all. It has to be this way. I said, because that's not necessarily the case. He also has little hands. Oh my goodness, Israel, you guys are hilarious. And like I said, that's how you can, like I said, look, you got to understand, like, our scriptures have been tampered with. You know, that's why you got to really think about certain things. You can't just, think that, well, it says this, so therefore that's the way that it is. Like, okay, well, like I said, there's other scriptures, I'm sure, that say other things. You guys are having a great old time. I see that. And see, this is why, like I said, our history has been taken away. I want to go into this real quick. I'm going to probably do a video. I actually already have notes for a video on this. But see, this is why that whole Acts 29 was taken out. Because then you start to understand that when it talks about these Druids and this information, that this is yours. And see now, and that's why they go out of their way to make all these movies and make everybody look like they're white. So therefore, you think that all this information is theirs. So then you got people look like us. Oh, that's Gentile information. That's Jews and Gentile books. Well, that's not true. I want to read a little something here to you guys. Okay. So this book right here, we're going to get into it really quick. Check it out. Because this talks about how pretty much the Romans wiped out the Druids. They're the ones that wiped out all this information about the Druids. Okay? So it says, the family time is great, isn't it? Druidism perished then by the edge of the sword wielded by the Romans. So see, the Romans were the ones who destroyed the Druids. And they're the ones who also said, oh no, you can't get Acts 29 either. I said, because you're going to realize that the Druids were the Hebrews, because Paul went and he told you that, the Druids were the Hebrews, okay? It says, so Druidism perished then by the edge of the sword wielded by the Romans. The foundation of that great Roman school, so the foundation of the great Roman schools, such as that at Aton, deprived the Druids of many of their pupils. In Ireland, Druidism did not, however, disappear until about AD 560, after the abandonment of Tara, the capital of the supreme king of Ireland. In AD 452, the Council of Arles decreed that if any diocese, any infidel, lighted torches or worshipped trees, fountains, or stones, he should be guilty of sacrilege. In AD 658, the Council of Nantes ordered the destruction of all Druidical monuments, and later the Capitularies also condemned the religion. Welsh historians assert that Christianity was accepted in a national council by King Lucius, AD 155. When the archdruids of Europe, Lud and Leon, became archbishops, and the chief druids of 28 cities became bishops. Now, this part is really important. I don't know how he keeps throwing in Pythagoreans in here, but okay. I'm going to skip over here. Okay. The Pythagorean brotherhoods and institutions of Numa constitute, we believe, one of the unrecognized aspects of these ancient Canobitic communities, of which our convents, monasteries, and abbeys became the successors, a new spirit animating these old bodies. So what happened was they took over our lands, took over our monasteries, our convents, took over abbeys, and they pretty much just took them over and put their names on them. So then it says right here, it says became the successors, a new spirit animating these old bodies. So these new spirits were, the Greeks, the Romans, and Satan pretty much coming in, okay? It says the dominating idea of these monastic and conventual institutions is not, in point of fact, an idea emanating from, but is long anterior to the gospel. See, these things were way before their gospels, way before, the Christian dogma, okay? Okay? If we wish to look for a precedent less removed from the Christian origin, it must be searched for among the Essenes or in Egypt. It does not originate with papal Rome. So all this stuff that they brought, all this dogma, all this information, all these things that they brought did not come from them. So when you keep hearing people saying, oh, those are Gentile books, no, it's not. That's Gentile information, no, it's not. Okay? It says, we believe that its origin will be found in Chaldea or Media. And we know about the Chaldeans actually also being in Ireland, which would be where the Druids were, which were the Hebrews, okay? On which the Western monks, as well as the Irish and Scottish Druids, founded their model. Montalembert recognizes that Cenobitism is long anterior to the Christian era. So this stuff is all before Christians. And it says, like Mithraism, however, Druidism as a distinctive institution eventually was swept from off the face of the earth. Psalms 83, sweeping Israel and all of our information off the face of the earth. But the fact must not be overlooked when speaking of the supplanting of Druidism by Christianity. Check this part out. That the Druids held many of the tenets inculcated in Christianity and the practices and customs of the Christians. The doctrine of the immortality of the soul, the belief in miracles, the doctrine of reincarnation, all in those days, articles of the Christian faith, had already been imparted to the Britons by their own priests. They were also no strangers to the rite of baptism. So baptism came from the Druids too, which every Christian neophyte had to undergo. Unhappily, Druidism has left behind no literature, no art, existing monuments claim to be Druidical. Okay, so they pretty much just wrote all of us out of history. Wrote us all out of history, just like it said it would in Psalms 83. You see that? So like I said, so when people keep saying that all this stuff came from the Gentiles, I said, you're going to see real quick, I said that was an absolute lie. And all this stuff pretty much came from our people, and they just gave it to the Gentiles, and you got all these people, fighting to make it seem as if they're the ones that have pretty much started everything, and we know that that's not true at all. Hence why we need to get into other books, so you can realize that some baptism that they love so much actually started with the Druids. These are things that were already being practiced by the Druids, who had that stuff before Yahushai even came on the scene. This stuff was, and that's why when you start hearing about him going to the Druids and to be trained, I mean, it would make sense that he'd go somewhere where, you know, they actually had all this information. He wouldn't be going to the Pharisees to get trained. But like I said, this is why you have all of these things happening right now. This is all this history that has been hidden. And this is why so many people, you know, they miss the mark as far as prophecy is concerned, and why things are happening right now the way that they are. No, I have not finished watching Britannia yet. I haven't been able to watch it for the last couple of weeks. I've been kind of busy. Joel Osteen stole my notes. Oh my goodness. Like I said, that's, hey, we said we could do that all day long. Just, you know, do the same stuff, recycle the same things over and over again. I can do that all day long. That's not difficult to do. Someone said hi, Perry. But it's great hanging out with the family this evening. It's funny how it got to a certain number as far as the people in here, and it just stopped. It wouldn't go any further. You know they be messing with all that stuff right now. They're like, oh no, you got way too many people. We can't be letting more people show more people than that. Like I said, that's a beautiful thing. It just shows you how it is. It shows you that we're growing like crazy, and the world knows it. And I said that's a beautiful thing. I thank the Most High. I said that he's awakening the nation. He's awakening, you know, I said the Gentiles. I said they're coming into this truth as well. So they're coming in here as well. They're getting this understanding. I said the ones that the Most High is calling. I said, hey, you know, I said there's big things coming. I'm going to probably observe the new year, the 19th, Saturday evening, into Sunday evening. So I'm looking at like the 19th into the 20th. They were talking about the 17th. I'm just looking for equal day and equal night here in America. If you guys can find something on equal day, equal night here in America, you know, that's different, like I said, we'll look into that as well. But I'm looking for more so for New Year starting like the 19th, Saturday evening into Sunday. And then probably 2 weeks after that for Passover. And then we'll definitely talk more about this as we get closer. But hey, just expect more big events to be jumping off, you know, as we start our new year. So I'm looking forward to the new year, looking forward to spring, everything coming back to life. I said it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing hanging out with the family this evening. All praise the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahushai. Shalom, family.